Welcome to our comprehensive journey into the world of signals and systems. To begin, let's first understand what a signal is. In simple terms, a signal is any physical quantity that varies with time, space, or any other independent variable. Signals can be found everywhere around us, from the sound waves we hear to the electrical signals in our devices. They are the fundamental building blocks in communication, control systems, and electronics. As we move forward, we'll see how signals are classified and how they interact with systems to produce meaningful outcomes. Let's dive deeper into the types of signals next. Signals come in various forms, each with its unique characteristics. The two main categories are analog and digital signals. Analog signals are continuous in both time and amplitude, like the voltage variations in a microphone. Digital signals, on the other hand, are discrete, taking on specific values at distinct time intervals, such as the binary data in computers. Understanding the difference between these types is crucial, as it influences how information is processed and transmitted. Next, we'll explore how signals are represented mathematically, which is essential for analysis and system design. Analyze and manipulate signals, we need a mathematical framework. Signals are often represented as functions of one or more independent variables, most commonly time. For example, a signal xt describes how the signal varies over time. This representation allows us to apply mathematical tools and techniques such as calculus and algebra to study signal properties and behaviors. By expressing signals mathematically, we can predict system responses and design efficient communication channels. Up next, let's look at some common examples of signals in real life. Signals are all around us, shaping our daily experiences. For instance, the audio signals from a music player, the visual signals in a television, and even the temperature readings from a thermostat are all examples of signals. In communication systems, radio waves carry information across distances, while in biological systems, nerve impulses transmit data within our bodies. Recognizing these examples helps us appreciate the vast applications of signals and sets the stage for understanding how systems process them. Next, let's define what a system is in this context. Now that we understand signals, let's introduce systems. In the context of signals and systems, a system is any process or device that takes an input signal and transforms it into an output signal. Systems can be as simple as a resistor in an electrical circuit or as complex as a digital computer. The relationship between input and output signals defines the system's behavior. By studying systems, we learn how to manipulate signals to achieve desired results, such as filtering noise or amplifying sound. Next, we'll explore the classification of systems. Systems can be classified in several ways, depending on their properties. The most common classifications include linear versus nonlinear, time-invariant versus time-variant, and causal versus non-causal systems. Linear systems obey the principle of superposition, while nonlinear systems do not. Time-invariant systems have properties that do not change over time, whereas time-variant systems do. Causal systems depend only on present and past inputs, not future ones. Understanding these classifications helps engineers design and analyze systems effectively. Next, let's delve into linear systems in more detail. Linear system is one where the output is directly proportional to the input. This means if you double the input, the output also doubles. Linear systems are easier to analyze and predict, making them a fundamental concept in engineering. Most practical systems are designed to be as linear as possible within their operating range. This property allows us to use powerful mathematical tools, such as convolution and Fourier analysis, to study and design these systems. Next, we'll look at the concept of time invariance in systems. Time-invariant systems are those whose behavior and characteristics do not change over time. If you apply the same input at different times, the output will be identical, just shifted in time. This property simplifies analysis and design, as the system's response remains consistent. Many real-world systems, like electrical filters and amplifiers, are designed to be time-invariant. Understanding this concept is crucial for building reliable and predictable systems. Next, let's discuss the importance of causality in system design. Causality is a key property in system analysis. A causal system is one where the output at any time depends only on present and past inputs, never on future inputs. This makes sense for real-time systems as they can't anticipate future events. Non-causal systems, on the other hand, can depend on future inputs, but these are mostly theoretical or used in offline processing. Recognizing whether a system is causal or non-causal helps determine its practical application. Next, let's explore the concept of stability in systems. Stability is another fundamental property of systems. A stable system produces a bounded output for any bounded input. In other words, if you feed the system a signal that doesn't go to infinity, the output will also remain within limits. Stability is essential for practical systems, as unstable systems can lead to unpredictable or dangerous behavior. Engineers use various mathematical tests to determine system stability, ensuring safe and reliable operation. Next, let's look at the concept of memory in systems. Systems can also be classified based on memory. A memoryless system's output depends only on the current input, with no regard for past or future values. In contrast, systems with memory take into account previous inputs, which affects their current output. For example, a resistor is memoryless, while a capacitor or inductor has memory due to energy storage. Understanding whether a system has memory is important for predicting its behavior and designing appropriate responses. Next, let's discuss the concept of invertibility in systems. Invertible system is one where you can uniquely determine the input from the output. This property is important in applications like signal recovery and encryption. If a system is invertible, it means no information is lost during processing, allowing for accurate reconstruction of the original signal. Non-invertible systems, however, lose some information, making it impossible to retrieve the exact input. Understanding invertibility helps in designing systems for secure communication and data processing. Next, let's explore the concept of system response. Response of a system refers to how it reacts to a given input signal. This can be analyzed in terms of the system's impulse response or step response. The impulse response is particularly important, as it characterizes the system completely for linear time-invariant systems. By knowing the impulse response, we can predict the output for any input using mathematical tools like convolution. Understanding system response is key to designing filters, amplifiers, and other signal processing devices. Next, let's introduce the concept of convolution. Convolution is a mathematical operation that describes how an input signal interacts with a system's impulse response to produce an output. It's a fundamental tool in signal processing, especially for linear time-invariant systems. By convolving the input with the impulse response, we can determine the system's output for any input. This process is widely used in engineering, from audio processing to image filtering. Understanding convolution helps us design systems that perform specific tasks such as noise reduction or signal enhancement. Next, let's discuss the Fourier Transform. Fourier Transform is a powerful mathematical tool that allows us to analyze signals in the frequency domain. Instead of looking at how a signal changes over time, we examine the different frequencies that make up the signal. This is especially useful in applications like audio processing, communications, and image analysis. By transforming a signal into its frequency components, we can filter out noise, compress data, and understand system behavior more deeply. Next, we'll explore the Laplace transform and its significance. Laplace transform is another essential tool in signal and system analysis. It extends the concept of the Fourier transform by allowing us to analyze signals and systems with exponential growth or decay. The Laplace transform is particularly useful for solving differential equations and studying system stability. Engineers use it to design and analyze control systems, filters, and circuits. By converting signals into the S-domain, we gain new insights into system behavior and performance. Next, let's look at the Z-transform for discrete time signals. Z-transform is the discrete time counterpart of the Laplace transform. It is used to analyze and design systems that process digital signals. By converting a discrete time signal into the Z-domain, we can study system stability, frequency response, and filter design. The Z-transform is widely used in digital signal processing, communications, and control systems. Understanding this tool is crucial for working with modern digital devices and applications. Next, let's discuss the concept of sampling and its importance. Sampling is the process of converting a continuous time signal into a discrete time signal by taking measurements at regular intervals. This is a fundamental step in digital signal processing. However, improper sampling can lead to aliasing, where different signals become indistinguishable. The Nyquist theorem states that the sampling rate must be at least twice the highest frequency in the signal to avoid aliasing. Understanding sampling and aliasing is critical for accurate digital representation of signals. Next, let's explore quantization and its effects. Quantization is the process of mapping a continuous range of values into a finite set of levels, which is essential for digital representation of signals. While sampling converts the signal in time, quantization converts it in amplitude. This process introduces quantization error, which can affect the quality of the reconstructed signal. Engineers use various techniques to minimize these errors and ensure high-fidelity digital signal. Next, let's discuss the reconstruction of signals from their samples. Reconstruction is the process of converting a discrete time, quantized signal back into a continuous time signal. This is typically done using interpolation techniques, such as zero-order hold or sinc interpolation. The goal is to recover the original signal as accurately as possible. The quality of reconstruction depends on the sampling rate and quantization levels used. Proper reconstruction is vital in applications like audio playback and image display. Next, let's look at system block diagrams and their role in analysis. Block diagrams are graphical representations of systems, showing the flow of signals between different components. Each block represents a specific function, such as amplification, filtering, or modulation. Block diagrams help engineers visualize complex systems and understand how signals are processed at each stage. They are essential tools in system design, troubleshooting, and documentation. Next, let's discuss feedback systems and their importance in control engineering. Feedback is a process where a portion of the output signal is returned to the input. This technique is widely used in control systems to improve stability, accuracy, and performance. Positive feedback amplifies changes, while negative feedback reduces errors and stabilizes the system. Feedback systems are found in everything from thermostats to audio amplifiers. Understanding feedback is crucial for designing robust and reliable systems. Next, let's explore the concept of filters in signal processing. Filters are systems designed to selectively pass or block certain frequency components of a signal. Common types include low-pass, high-pass, bandpass, and bandstop filters. Filters are used in audio processing, communications, and instrumentation to remove noise, extract useful information, or shape signals. The design and analysis of filters rely on understanding system properties and frequency response. Next, let's discuss the concept of modulation and its role in communication systems. Modulation is the process of varying a signal's properties, such as amplitude, frequency, or phase, to transmit information over a communication channel. Common modulation techniques include amplitude modulation AM, frequency modulation FM, and phase modulation PM. Modulation allows signals to be transmitted efficiently over long distances and through various media. Understanding modulation is essential for designing communication systems like radio, television, and cellular networks. Next, let's look at demodulation and signal detection. Modulation is the reverse process of modulation, where the original information is extracted from the modulated signal. Detection involves identifying the presence of a signal and recovering the transmitted data. These processes are critical in communication receivers, ensuring accurate and reliable data transmission. Engineers use various demodulation techniques depending on the modulation scheme used. Next, let's discuss noise and its impact on signals and system. Noise refers to unwanted disturbances that interfere with the transmission and processing of signals. It can originate from various sources, such as electronic components, environmental factors, or other signals. Noise degrades signal quality and can lead to errors in communication and data processing. Engineers use techniques like filtering, shielding, and error correction to minimize the effects of noise. Understanding noise is essential for designing robust systems. Next, let's explore signal-to-noise ratio and its significance. Signal-to-noise ratio (SNR) is a measure of signal strength relative to background noise. A higher SNR indicates a clearer, more reliable signal, while a lower SNR means the signal is more likely to be corrupted by noise. SNR is a critical parameter in communication, audio, and measurement systems. Engineers strive to maximize SNR through design choices and signal processing techniques. Next, let's discuss the concept of bandwidth and its importance in system. Bandwidth refers to the range of frequencies a system can process or transmit. It determines the amount of information that can be sent over a channel. Wider bandwidth allows for higher data rates and better signal quality, but may also introduce more noise. Bandwidth is a key consideration in designing communication systems, audio equipment, and data networks. Understanding bandwidth helps engineers optimize system performance. Next, let's look at the concept of system transfer function. Transfer function of a system describes the relationship between the input and output in the frequency domain. It is a mathematical representation that helps engineers analyze and design systems for specific frequency responses. The transfer function is widely used in control systems, filter design, and signal processing. By understanding the transfer function, we can predict how a system will respond to different inputs. Next, let's discuss the concept of poles and zeros in system analysis. Poles and zeros are key concepts in system analysis. Poles are values that make the system's transfer function go to infinity, while zeros make it zero. The location of poles and zeros in the complex plane determines the system's stability and frequency response. Engineers use pole-zero plot to design filters and control systems with desired characteristics. Understanding poles and zeros is essential for advanced system analysis. Next, let's explore the concept of frequency response. Frequency response describes how a system reacts to different frequencies in the input signal. It shows which frequencies are amplified, attenuated, or left unchanged. Frequency response is crucial in audio equipment, communication systems, and instrumentation. Engineers use tools like Bode plots to visualize and analyze frequency response. By shaping the frequency response, we can design systems that meet specific performance criteria. Next, let's discuss the concept of phase response in systems. Phase response refers to how a system shifts the phase of different frequency components in the input signal. This is important in applications where timing and synchronization matter, such as audio and communication systems. A linear phase response ensures that all frequency components are delayed by the same amount, preserving the signal's shape. Engineers analyze phase response to avoid distortion and maintain signal integrity. Next, let's look at the concept of group delay. Group delay measures the time delay of different frequency components as they pass through a system. It is derived from the phase response and is important for maintaining the shape of signals, especially in communication and audio systems. Excessive group delay can cause distortion and affect the quality of transmitted information. Engineers strive to minimize group delay in critical applications. Next, let's discuss the concept of system realization and implementation. System realization refers to the practical implementation of a system based on its mathematical model. This involves choosing the right components, architecture, and technology to achieve the desired performance. Realization can be in analog or digital form depending on the application. Engineers must consider factors like cost, complexity, and reliability during realization. Next, let's explore the concept of state space representation in system. State space representation is a mathematical framework used to model and analyze dynamic systems. It describes the system using a set of first-order differential or difference equations, capturing the system's state at any given time. State space models are widely used in control engineering, robotics, and signal processing. They provide a powerful way to analyze complex, multi-input, multi-output systems. Next, let's discuss the concept of stability in state space system. Stability in state space systems is determined by the eigenvalues of the system matrix. If all eigenvalues have negative real parts, the system is stable. This analysis helps engineers design controllers that ensure safe and predictable operation. State space stability is crucial in applications like robotics, aerospace, and process control. Understanding stability in this context allows for more advanced system design. Next, let's explore the concept of controllability and observability. Controllability refers to the ability to move a system from any initial state to any desired final state using appropriate inputs. Observability is the ability to determine the system's internal state from its outputs. Both properties are essential for effective control and monitoring of dynamic systems. Engineers use mathematical tests to check controllability and observability, ensuring that systems can be properly managed and diagnosed. Next, let's discuss the concept of system identification. System identification is the process of building mathematical models of systems based on observed data. This involves collecting input-output data and using algorithms to estimate system parameters. System identification is widely used in engineering, economics, and biology to model complex systems. Accurate models enable better prediction, control, and optimization. Next, let's explore adaptive systems and their ability to adjust to changing environment. Adaptive systems are capable of adjusting their parameters in response to changes in the environment or system behavior. These systems are used in applications like noise cancellation, automatic control, and machine learning. Adaptive systems continuously monitor performance and make real-time adjustments to maintain optimal operation. Understanding adaptive systems is key for developing intelligent and flexible technologies. Next, let's discuss the concept of system robustness. Robustness refers to a system's ability to maintain performance despite uncertainties or variations in its parameters or environment. Robust systems are designed to handle disturbances, noise, and modeling errors without significant degradation. This property is essential in safety-critical applications like aerospace, automotive, and medical devices. Engineers use robust control techniques to ensure reliable operation under all conditions. Next, let's explore the concept of distributed systems. Distributed systems consist of multiple interconnected components that work together to process signals or perform tasks. These systems are common in modern computing, telecommunications, and industrial automation. Distributed systems offer advantages like scalability, fault tolerance, and resource sharing. However, they also present challenges in coordination and communication. Understanding distributed systems is vital for designing large-scale, reliable infrastructure. Next, let's discuss the concept of real-time systems. Real-time systems are designed to process signals and respond to inputs within strict time constraints. These systems are used in applications like industrial automation, robotics, and embedded devices. Meeting timing requirements is critical for safety and performance. Real-time systems are classified as hard or soft, depending on the consequences of missing deadlines. Understanding real-time systems is essential for designing responsive and reliable technology. Next, let's explore the concept of embedded systems. Embedded systems are specialized computing systems designed to perform dedicated functions within larger systems. They are found in everyday devices like smartphones, cars, and home appliances. Embedded systems process signals in real time and often operate under resource constraints. Designing embedded systems requires knowledge of hardware, software, and signal processing. Next, let's discuss the future trends in signals and systems. The field of signals and systems is constantly evolving, driven by advances in technology and new applications. Emerging trends include the integration of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the Internet of Things (IoT). These developments are enabling smarter, more adaptive systems that can process vast amounts of data in real time. Staying updated with these trends is essential for engineers and technologists. Next, let's summarize the key points we've covered in this comprehensive guide. This detailed exploration of signals and systems, we've covered the fundamental concepts, classifications, and practical applications. From understanding different types of signals and system properties to exploring advanced topics like transforms, feedback, and real-time processing, we've seen how these principles shape modern technology. Mastery of signals and systems is essential for careers in engineering, communications, and beyond. We hope this guide has provided you with a solid foundation and inspiration to delve deeper into this fascinating field.